Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of the
When we dry them up, too cold. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, you have to watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that.
On today's episode of the Jamaican cooking journey, I'll be preparing some Jamaican stew peas. For this stew peas recipe, I have I think 1 or 2 stew peas. I'm going to be using some corned beef and some pigtail, 2 different pickled meats. Now corned beef is different from salt beef, and these are 2 pickled meat that has 2 different acquired tastes. Pig's tail has more like of a brine. Corned beef is done locally, so they use their own or own local Jamaican seasonings to pickle the corned beef. So what I've done, I've gone ahead and I have washed them properly with lime, and I have pre-soaked them for about 4 hours in some water, huge amount of water. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to be getting this all scalded off. I did most of the prepping because I have showed you how many times to prep these meat for stew peas. So, but I've never done it with 2 different pickled meat. So you know we're gonna get a different taste, a whole new level of flavors with the brine taste from the pigtail and that locally flavored pickled taste from the corned beef. Remember, salted beef and the corned beef are 2 different things. So I'm using a lot of water here. I'm gonna scald. I remember I told you scalding is just start as it starts to boil, you are gonna like turn your flame off. I'm gonna do this I think maybe 1 time because the lime juice has helped to take out a lot of that salt. So right here I do have some peas right here. I had pre-soaked my peas and I'll show you. I pre-soaked my peas a few hours too. I even started pre-soaking it before the meat. And you can see I have mixed peas, some redder than some. And I'm going to leave that to there to come to a little boil. Once my meat is there, I'm going to use it to just start coming to a little boil on a relatively like little higher than low. Okay, I just want to get it like that. I'm using a few pegs of garlic, just that. Okay, so I'll leave it to come to a boil. Fully pre-soaked, so when it starts boiling, there should be no peas rising to the top. That is how you know your peas is properly soaked. So I'm gonna go now and leave this to scald off. Remember, a lot of water. As it starts scalding off, I'll come, and at that point I'll realize, or I will know if I'm to scald it a second time. But the lime juice really takes out a lot of the salt, and that was shared with me by one of my subscribers here. I know the vinegar does, but I really don't like the after effect of the vinegar, so I'm using the lime juice. I did it before and it worked. The lime juice will take it out till, if you don't mind, chop, you have to add back salt. That is how great the lime juice is when using to pre-soak your pickled meat. So I'm gonna leave it to come to a boil. As it start boiling, I'm gonna come strain off that water. Okay, we are so back, family, and for me this is what scalding is. You see all those little things that on top here, that frothiness, this is what comes off the pickled meat. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna remove it. I have already tested off camera my meat. I realized that it doesn't want to scald a second time, so I won't. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my flame off. Yeah, and remember, boiling and scalding are 2 different methods, family, and you can see that it has been scalded, so the meat, the pieces get a little smaller. So I'm gonna remove it from this here, this water. Yeah, so I think I have another piece here. Yeah, and I really told you that I did soak it. So I did those because I've showed you how many times. So what I'm gonna do right now, I am gonna rinse it with some cold water. Yes, rinse it with some cold water, drain it in my colander. Yeah, let it stay there a little whilst we check on our peas right here. coming to a boil. We're gonna need our flame up now to about medium. And this your peas, it starts coming to a boil. Don't mind what is at the top. After you pre-soak, wash your peas properly and pre-soak it. You never try to throw that water off. You're throwing the flavors out. So what I'm gonna do now, remember I had my garlic pegs in there. Be very careful when you're doing this. If you want to use something and remove them separately, that will be fine. Now, I have always up for the pressure cooking method when I am cooking things like this. If you don't want to, you can go ahead at this point and you can start cooking on the medium. And you will cook and cook and cook, and you come if the water dries out, you put a little more. But you know, when you know me, pressure cooker method. Now this pressure cooker, it has a maximum and a minimum. Okay, this can be done in your instant pot, in your electric pressure cooker, which I guess is the same thing as instant pot in some cases. That is easier for you. You can set your timer, you can program it for whatever you want to do. This cannot be done that way. Therefore, if you are versed in your pressure cooker, go ahead, but you can use your instant pot. This here is my maximum. That, can you shoot them up on this little black line there? This is my maximum. That means anything over in this pressure cooker, if it pass here, the pressure cooker will blow up. So what I did, I had to take out some of my meat. Now, as I always told you, pressuring the water must just be above the food level. You don't want a lot of water. So I am going to really cover my pressure cooker at this point. This is a real powerhouse pressure cooker, you see. So as I tell you before, I'm going to leave the link. And all those who don't know how to angle a pressure cooker, this is a real powerhouse pressure cooker. It will cook this in, from it starts pressuring, in less than 15 minutes. I'll be setting it for 10. When I'm set, I can't set, I'll be programming it for 10 from when that the steam releases. So 10 minutes I'll give it in this. This is a powerhouse, but you can do it. And I think in your pressure pot, your electric pressure cooker, so it will be 10 minutes too. Some of them are really powerful. So when all of this has finished, we'll return. Now, whilst that is happening, I have my little flour. You know, stew peas can be stew peas without pinners. Some people say spinners, I say pin. I won't go into that story anymore. Let us all do what we think is best. I'm going to be using some pimento seeds, a little extra grated garlic to give it up, some not so fresh scallion and green thyme. I'm going to be putting one green pepper, and I'm going to be chopping a little of this ripe one to put in there just for flavoring. Coconut milk, I will not be using. Coconut milk is done in the authentic stew peas. I'm not doing the authentic, but just do a stew peas. And honestly, even though the coconut milk was done in the authentic one, to each of us our own. I honestly prefer my stew peas without the coconut milk. I don't know why. Maybe I'm the only person, maybe I am not. So I am going to be making my peanuts. You know, if I make it like a peanuts, I'm already. I won't put any salt in the dough, in this dough. I'm just going to be making it with a little water because we have the 2 pickled meat there. And when we return, this should be ready. I don't want it to go too soft because I've got to give the peanuts some time to cook down and to start coming together to thicken the stew peas. Also, I don't want my meat mashing out too much, right? I don't like my meat all mashed out and all of that. So I'll show you when I return. Or we're going to properly split this stew peas. It's not the authentic version. It's just a stew peas thing. Remember, if you can find smoked meat, smoke flavored meat, you could add a piece of smoke flavored meat with whatever you mix and match. You know all of your stew peas things. Next clip. Right back at your YouTube family, and I gave this about 12 minutes. Now this is what you see. Your fork is almost going through your pigtail, but bear in mind that you don't want to pressure this until it comes extra soft. It needs some cooking. So we're gonna get our flame back up, and we are gonna start mashing. We're gonna need some extra liquid at some point. So you can see, so our peas not look tree bad, you know, and I showed you the method that when your peas not so pretty, so you can make it start at this. Start mashing a few of your peas, yeah. And hot water as the norm, you know, I always emphasize on that. Show a little more because I stew peas, yeah. So you want it come to a boil, start coming to a boil. And as it starts coming to a boil, they want to start mashing some of that peas, starting to build that stew. Okay, starting to build that stew with that body. You know why I use no cornstarch. I remember we're gonna go ahead and make our peanuts. So now is the ideal time, whilst that is coming to a boil, to start making the peanuts. So I'm gonna be doing just that in the next step. Right back at you, family, and you can see this is not stew peas as yet. This is just meat, some liquid, and some red peas. So you want to start mashing. That is just my style, as I showed you on my any pig stew peas video. This is just my style. So remember, in a family, you don't want to pressure your meat out, because you're gonna stay here for another about 30 minutes. So cook as you add your peanuts and your seasoning, and the method that you're gonna use to get this thing come to that chunky nice stew is the stirring. We're putting in our peanuts right now, so we're gonna continue doing that. And then after we do that, we're gonna need to add some more liquid. Remember, your water must be hot, and all of that. And our stew peas, I did try that piece of my meat off camera, and the salt perfection is on par. If I had done it a second time by scalding it, it would be fresh. And you know, so stew peas, your milk, your meat have to have the little pickle taste. Putting in these, and I'm gonna come back and show you. Peanuts in, and it's still not stew peas as yet, so you want to start. So we're gonna need some more liquid, but not right now. Okay, so you want to start have this cooking going on. So as you go along, you mash a little more of your peas. You see that? Okay, you just use your spoon and you just bring up some of your peas and you just smash it. Not all will be smashed. This is to help you to get the stew starting to take on that body. Now from you look at it, the amount of meat and peas we have in there with peanuts, you know we are going to need liquid. So we are going to leave it to cook, and when we return, we are going to be at the point where we might need some more water. But this is the method you got to use, family. This is the method, the stirring method. Stirring, right? You see it? Still not there. Right, so let us leave it for the peanuts to get cooked, and we are going to show you when it's at the point. You will see how your stew peas is supposed to look when it starts coming together. This is still not together. Also your soup. See the meat there one side. Look at it. Look at it when I pull up. Meat there one side, peas there one side, peanuts there one side, and the liquid is still not together as yet. So I'll come back in the next step. Now there is a difference. Now we're starting. You notice this is getting thicker, the liquid. It's getting a little thick, but we're still not there. So you see what is happening? So we are starting to build this stew. Still can do a little mashing, because you won't mash all the peas, you know. See it? So it's cooking. Alright? Now what we want to do, we want to get some of our seasons right here in. I'm gonna get my thyme in. Gonna get my scallions, and you know, a lot of scallion for me, that's where we get the flavor. Could be a little fresher, but look here. The only choice that they right there. So right now, where I am, get your scallions in, or you want to start get your seasoning. These are gonna be your seasonings. Want to lower your flame too. Yeah. Some more stirring and all of that. At this point too, you want to get a little pimento seed in, family. Always remember to rinse your pimento seeds. You want to do them individually, or each time you're doing doing a dish, you do it fine. Or if you want to rinse it, dry it, and return it back to another container or wherever. Pimento seeds. And you've got to be doing a lot of this, family. That is how you're gonna build the stew. So the peas is continuing to cook, getting all mashed. The peanuts are getting all gel and all of that. The meat finished cook. So we want to do that. And also You can put my pepper is clean. It's coming from my refrigerator, but I'll still rinse. You want to put your green pepper in. You're not ready to put the ripe one in as yet. So you're stirring. So the pressure cooked method was just to bring your cooking time down to less than half. Okay, because it took a mighty long time to get it to this level. Just cooking, you'll be there cooking for hours. So try to remember, you don't have to pressure it until it's soft, you know, because you're gonna need to have a little cooking. Because if you pressure it until it's extra soft, once you start stirring, it's gonna all turn everything's gonna just like mud. Okay, so you see me, I see. So I'm letting you see what I'm doing. And this stirring, you have to have some elbow grease pan. You can't just have the spoon and go around and I play around and no, you have to have some elbow grease pan this. So we're gonna need a little more liquid, but not right now. So when we return, I think that will be the perfect time. And we're gonna add a little extra garlic to gig it up. Great, I'm gonna grate that one, and I'm gonna add a little of that chopped ripe pepper. And then I'm gonna add something else, and you'll see. We'll soon come. Remember I told you prior clip or in earlier clip, no coconut milk in this one. If you want to add your coconut milk, that would be the time. You can go ahead. But I won't be putting any coconut milk in this one. Remember to taste your pot as you go along. Okay? I have changed my spoon. I honestly have. I can't deal with those spoons. You see what is happening? You're getting your stew there. So I'm not putting in any coconut milk. I'm putting in just a spoon of tomato paste. It's quite optional, but I like to put it. It gives it a pretty color to me. Okay, so you can do you. You don't have to do me, you know. You can even chop some tomatoes, put it down in there, and it also enhance the color. Not much of a flavor, just for the color. Okay, now your stew is starting to build, and you're gonna need a little more, just a little, not a lot, water. Few more continuous stirring for another 10 minutes as your stew comes together. We are waiting, we are looking for when it's finished and we take up, we see this chunk coming up. Okay, next clip. As we go, you realize that when we lift, you can see there is stew peas. Don't mind our herbs, we will remove them in due season. They have got to cook right out. You can see that you're not having too much watery liquid again. You see that? So you gotta stir, and as you stir, you scrape around the sides of your pot. Yeah, so look at this. The tomato paste has changed the color, and as I said before, you could have put your coconut milk prior to the tomato paste or your chopped tomatoes, because it will tell you how much you have to put. If you had put the coconut milk, it would be on the whiter side. So put in the red, I'm so hot family and I'm filming at night. Put in the tomato paste in there. It has given it that beautiful, you can look at it, that beautiful, and the beef is even softer than the pigtail. You see that? But we're still not there yet, so we're going to have to just go on some more, and in the next clip I'll add one more thing. I have only one more thing, and then we'll be giving it a few more stirs, and then we'll be ready to get our stew piece all dished up. And of course, you know, we dished it mostly in Jamaica with white rice. So right now your flame must be on not too high, and not that coming down, because you see we're getting there. You see the body building in that stew, in that liquid. We're getting there. We are getting there. My flame is down to low. When you know your stew pea is ready, first thing, it starts sticking in the bottom of the pot. Look at this. Your flavor, your stew is building, family. We have got to remove our seasonings. Some people say, why do you remove them? Yes, we can eat them. It is okay. You can remove them. But for presentation, doing a tutorial, I think it's best to move them. Look at this. Your stew is building, and look at that pretty color that tomato paste has given to it. Look at it. Look at it. So look at this. Let us give it a stir from the bottom. Let us give it some 360 stir, moving around, scraping around in a very timely fashion and manner, of course. Look at this. Look at this. We are getting up everything from the bottom. Look at that chunkiness coming out. Everything is coming together. Look at that. Look at that, everything. What we need to do now is to remove our herbs. And that is what I'm going to do right now off camera. Return. We have removed the herbs. This is how limp they are. So I like to eat scallions. You can easily eat them. But for in the pot there, at this point, you'd want to remove it to make sure it's not in your way. So right at this point, I'm going to add just like a tablespoon of mild butter. Just that, I'm using that to substitute the coconut milk. I know it cannot replace the coconut milk flavor, but it is going to give it that creamy look. Okay, look at this. On the low you must be. Let us dissolve this butter. Let us dissolve this butter as we stir and as we move along. And let me tell you this, I have changed my top. I'm sweating too much. I'm doing this at night, this tutorial at night. And let me tell you, I did say before in the earliest part of this tutorial that there are two distinct flavors that you're going to get. The brine from the pigtail and the flavor from the corned beef. The flavor from the corned beef comes way out above the pigtail brine. So that is the flavor that we're getting now. You'll taste the pigtail when you bite that meat, but you're going to taste the corned beef flavor. And if you had added a piece of smoked meat, wow. Let us look at this. On the simmering, our stew peas is ready. Stew coming up. Look at this. On the low, and you're waiting for your butter to be all melted. No more liquid at this point. You should by now have already tasted, or pepper, green pepper is there, but it will not burn. Remember, green peppers, they don't really come with a lot of heat, just flavor. And you should by now have tasted for your acquired taste where you want. This is it. Look at this stew. Look at it. This is your pig's tail, your stew peas. Look at this. Next clip, we'll have some all plated just for you. You might want to say, Debbie, go easy on the rice. Where is the vegetable? Look at me right here. We not partial when it comes to stew peas and white rice at Jamaica. When we not near Marshall, you know, so we not partial panic. Look here. When we say stew peas with pickled and meat, 2 pickled meat, we not care for vegetable, and look here, we want enough rice, come up with stew. From my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach, it is Debbie's stew peas with white rice done just for you. Just top up this with some hot sauce if you want more eat and all of that. Thanks for the love, thanks for the support and all of that. Thank you so much. Remember to make sure, family, that you're subscribed to the Jamaican Cooking Journey. Remember to watch the videos in its entirety. Remember to make sure you watch through the ads, okay? Please and thank you. And also, all the info that you want to get onto me, they will be in the description of the live. My email, my personal business number, you know them all. If you want to make a donation, the Cash App and the Zelle is there. Our merch, we have revamped it. Remember to support our Patreon. All those links will be in the description, and there is a bonus coming for you. Our website that you have been crying for so long will be up and ready by another 2-3 days. There you can go to get all of our so lovely Jamaican recipes. Remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you some Jamaican stew peas and rice.